Hi, I'm Jody Baumgartner, and welcome to this month's edition of City Connections, your destination for news and information about our city. We have a great show for you, including a tour of the new police headquarters, information on the new street buskers ordinance, and an update on the Metro 911 remodeling project. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, our first story is an exciting one. Back in 2012, the City of Greensboro received a $1 million Strong Cities, Strong Communities grant, which will serve as an important catalyst for economic growth. Assistant City Manager Andy Scott gives us more.
This effort itself has the potential to catapult us to the next level.
I mean, this is a big deal, folks.
So I'm very pleased to be here to make an announcement from the President's Strong Cities, Strong Communities initiative. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this evolves and what it is you're able to do with this money and what sort of great new ideas come forward.
Well, this isn't a game changer in the sense of whether an automobile plant decides to locate here or something of that nature, but it is a game changer in the sense that it really allows us to gather the intellectual power of the community to match that with national resources, and then to really put some time and effort to think about a few things that raise us above our competition. Well, this is a really wonderful opportunity for people in Greensboro to think big, to go up to the 30,000, 50,000 foot level and talk about not only what they'd like to see happen in Greensboro in the next 2 or 3 years, but what course would they like to see Greensboro embark on for the next 20 years. Well, what my dream is that someone tosses out an idea that really knocks everybody's socks off. That there's something out there that is new and different and that brings together strengths and resources in such a way that we really haven't thought about it. But we're also open to the tried and true and to the things that we know that are Greensboro's strengths. Logistics and transportation, aerospace, advanced manufacturing, and particularly our colleges and universities, and perhaps will help us capture some of the immense intellectual activity that's going on, capture some of that intellectual property, commercialize it, and help create the jobs for the future. I think that the real benefit in this grant is probably long-term, because it's going to allow us to think about not only what we want to see in Greensboro, what direction we want to go for the next 20 to 25 years. Middle to late spring, we will announce this process. Sometime in middle to late summer, we'll make the first cut of selections, and then perhaps maybe a year later the final award will be made. Once a project is vetted by staff to ensure that it meets the minimum criteria, this group will then look at those projects, and then they will make the recommendation of the prize winner up to City Council. There will be an initial group of small prize winners, and those groups will be encouraged to go on and to compete for the grand prize, which is $1 million.
Thanks, Sandy. What an achievement for our city. That brings us to this month's fun fact. The question is, other than Greensboro, what are the 2 other U.S. cities selected for the Economic Development Strong Cities, Strong Communities grant? A, Hartford, Connecticut and Las Vegas, Nevada, B, Dayton, Ohio and Austin, Texas, or C, Providence, Rhode Island and Fresno, California? Stick around and find out if you answered correctly. We'll reveal the answer later in the show. Last month, the Greensboro Police Department began the process of moving into their new headquarters. Captain Joel Cranford gives us a tour of the facility thus far.
Central Division, so the Central Patrol Division for the Police Department, is actually moving back to its geographical area of responsibility. Back in 2005, the Central Patrol Division, which was located at that time at the Melvin Municipal Office Building, actually moved out to the Kitchen Center located on South Elm Eugene Street, and since that time we have been outside of our area of responsibility and the citizens that we serve. The decision was made to use this building because it was centrally located in the downtown area. It gives us our own space to operate out of, but it also keeps us close to the other functions of city government that we interact with on a daily basis. It gives us plenty of room to grow as an organization. Currently, the basement houses our logistics section. The first floor houses our Central Patrol Division. It houses our Central Records Division and our watch operations center and telephone response unit. The second floor in the next phase of construction will house the senior administration, and that's the chief's office and our management bureau. And then on the third floor, which is operational now, that is our IT section and our break room, gym facilities, and our shower and locker rooms for our employees. In the next phase of construction, the fourth floor will be completed to house our criminal investigations division, and I think part of the fifth floor will be used for that as well. This building will become the face of the Greensboro Police Department. You'll see the signs uncovered outside identifying this as Greensboro's Police Department. So all citizens and needing to conduct business, for the most part with the department, will come to this facility. This is a different configuration than what we see in a lot of our satellite facilities. We're all located on one floor. With me being the commanding officer, I can step out of my office and I can see the entire work area. It gives me the ability to interact more with the employees. They have an opportunity to interact with me. I think it'll go a long way to build the camaraderie within the division, and it seems to me to be a lot of excitement about finally getting in and becoming operational within the building.
Thanks, Captain. The new building looks great. Now, in an effort to support our veterans, Central Library is providing veterans with career development tools they can use to succeed in today's economy. Kim Haley has more.
What we're doing this year, we have Year of the Veteran, and so we're offering a series of workshops every Monday, the first Monday of every month, dedicated to veterans issues. We're having, in the future, we're having education workshops. Veterans get a good money for education, for training, and so they need to know, what courses are out there, what programs, what colleges and universities. And so we're going to have that the month of April, and the veterans that we've had the last two meetings appreciate the information about job and career, but they also want some more information, so that's what we're giving them. Thank you so much for coming to our first annual Year of the Vet program. There's a lot of information out there that local veterans do not know. Local veterans are not aware of the veterans preference that goes on for veterans when they're applying for municipal, city, state, federal jobs, county jobs, and we can provide that information for them. They don't know about certain programs that the government has that's specifically for them that will give them education, access to professional certifications, to degrees, associates, bachelor's degrees, etc. And so information's power, and I want to provide that information for veterans. The workshops will be held the first Monday of every month from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The classes will be held here at the central location of the Greensboro Public Library, 219 North Church Street. To find out information, you can call the Greensboro Public Library, or you can check online. We have the information on the Greensboro Public Library website. I encourage all the interested veterans and their families, their spouses, anyone who can give them the information to come down on the first Monday of every month, 10 a.m.
Last month, our guest Craig Whittington gave us some insight into what's happening at Guilford Metro 911. And one of the topics discussed was the facility's remodeling project. To give us a more in-depth look into the project, here's Wesley Reed.
We had not substantially touched the building since we moved in back in 1996. And we had outgrown the facility. Some of our technology needed to be refreshed. It was obsolete in some cases, especially our consoles. Some of our phone software was like 4 or 5 years old, which is really antiquated as it relates to the 911 industry. So that was really the basis for why we needed to renovate. We've changed multiple things. We actually stripped the entire facility. I mean, back to the bare walls and the concrete flooring. We replaced our Cat5 cabling. We replaced all of our electrical. We've upgraded and changed out our consoles. We added about 8 42-inch monitors with basically a combination. Some of them are used for our automatic call distribution system, so our operators can see who's on the phone and who's off. Some of the other monitors are utilized for our security feeds, for live TV as well as weather. So if we have an approaching storm, all the operators in the room now can see the live radar of what's happening and the duration of the storm. We changed out our recording software. We upgraded our computer system. So we've had pretty massive changes with the facility. We'll be answering the calls faster, which ultimately leads to the field responders responding faster, which ultimately means the citizens are getting help faster. So that's the basis of all of it, with whether it's our CAD system upgrades, our phone system upgrades, and or the consoles. The operators, we're hoping, will be able to provide faster service. The funding basically is a combination of state funding as well as city and county funding. If you own a cell phone or a landline phone, the 60 cents that you're paying on that bill, some of that funding comes back to us to provide 911 service. So the majority of the funding came from the state of North Carolina. We asked them to consider additional funding for this project for us, and they approved it, and they upped our funding from 1.6 to 2.7 million. So that's what paid for the majority of the project. We really feel like we have provided a facility now that will be good for another 16 to 20 years. So we're pleased with that, and we really want to thank the citizens of Guilford County and Greensboro for their support.
We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with this month's special guest and much more City Connections.